This is MAC 1105, Section 1.1, Graphs and Graphing Utilities. This is just a little introduction to using the graphing calculator to make a graph and to see the table that the graph would have come from. This right here is y equals x squared minus 2, and you're being asked to graph this by point plotting. On MATLAB, they will give you these numbers, and you have to either do the arithmetic by hand, which you could do, or you can use the calculator to get these points off of the table. So if we wanted to do this with the calculator, of course, this is just a picture of the calculator. I can't actually show you the numbers, but the first thing you do is you go to y equals, which is that right there, y equals, and you'll get several blank equations that you can enter. What we want to enter is y equals x squared minus 2. Now to get the x squared, the x is right here. This is x, comma t, comma theta, comma n. All we need is the x. So you would press x and then squared. So press x and then squared and then minus 2, and you would have that equation right there showing in the calculator. The next thing you want to do, just to take a look at it for what it looks like, is hit the word graph right there. This says graph. If you press graph, you will get a picture of y equals x squared minus 2. The neat thing is, so you don't have to do all this arithmetic by hand, is for you to hit second and then graph, which if you can look up there, you can see the word table. That's a t-chart. This is going to show you the t-chart for any numbers that you want. The numbers we want are -3, -2, etc. on up to 3. So you'll do y equals and type in x squared minus 2, press the word graph right here to see what it looks like, and then press second graph and a t-chart comes up. And if you did that, these are the numbers you would get here. This would be 7, this is 2, -1, -2, -1, 2, and 7. Now to get a picture on your paper, you're going to plot these points. You have already pressed the word graph and you know what the picture should look like. So then you can come over here and do this by hand. -3, 7, -2, 2, -1, -1, 0, -2, 1, -1, 2, 2, 3, 7. Connect the dots. I can't do this very well. Connect the dots. And that's what your graph looks like. Y equals x squared minus 2 is a parabola. So the calculator makes this very easy to do. We'll do a couple of these. This is from page 17 in the packet, but we're not doing all of those. So same thing, you will go to y equals on the calculator. You will type in 2x plus 1. Of course, before you do that, you need to go to y equals and hit clear to clear out the previous equation. Otherwise, they both stay there. 2x plus 1. Then you can hit the word graph. Then hit second graph to bring up the table. Or, and if you wanted to, plug -3 in here. 2 times -3 is -6, plus 1 is -5. Plug -2 in here. 2 times -2 is -4, plus 1 is -3. Or you could do these steps on the calculator and take a look at your table, which is a whole lot easier, and then just copy from the table on the calculator onto your paper. -1, 0 is 1, 1 is 3, 2 is 5, 3 is 7. So let's plot those. -3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -2, -3, -1, -1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, and 3, 7. And I could try to draw a line here, but it's not going to look very good. You can see what the line would be. It would go right through all of those dots. This is y equals 2 times the absolute value of x. I need to show you how to find absolute value on the calculator. There is no actual button on the calculator that looks like absolute value. So what you'll do is you go to y equals, of course, clear out the last equation. You will need to type in a 2, then follow these steps. You will press math, and you will hit your right arrow, hit the right arrow, which brings up another menu, and you'll see the word num, N-U-M, and underneath the word num is ABS, ABS, which stands for absolute value, and this is exactly what it looks like. You will press that, ABS, the front parenthesis comes up, you would then type in x and close the parenthesis. And then you could follow the other steps. You could do your graph to see what it looks like, and then you could hit second graph to see what the table is. So what happens table-wise, if you plug -3 in there, by hand you'd get 6, -2 gives you 4, -1 gives you 2, then 0, 2, 4, and +3 is also 6. So we could graph -3, 6, -2, 4, -1, 2, 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, and connect the dots, and that makes a V. Absolute value, V for value, makes some sort of V. So those were just a few of the examples to show you how to get started with your graphing calculator if you don't know how. We will go over more of those in class. So one other thing in this lesson is the idea of x and y intercept. And x and y intercept are exactly what they sound like. X-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the x-axis, and y-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the y-axis. You're going to be able to look at a graph and tell which is the x-intercept and which is the y-intercept. I can look at this graph right here. This point right here, this is where the graph crosses my x-axis. That is the number 2. So the x-intercept is 2. There's also one over here. It's entirely possible to have more than one x-intercept. Even though this does not totally cross, it does touch the axis right here. That is -2. So this graph has 2 x-intercepts, 2 and -2. Y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis, which happens right here, which is -8. You do not have to write these as ordered pairs. It's just 2, -2, and then -8 for the y-intercept for that one. For this one, x-intercept, it just crosses one time right there, crosses at 2. And the y-intercept, it crosses up there at 4. And that's all you have to do. One more of these, x-intercept would be where it crosses the x-axis, right here, which is -3. But notice it does not cross the y-axis, and that's okay. So when it asks you about the y-intercept, you say none. There is no y-intercept.